On November 18, 2018, a massive refrigerated truck pulled up to a New York City warehouse, its doors flung open, and workers began dumping boxes of perfectly cooked meals onto the curb, food that had cost Munchery more than $30 million to create, only to be discarded because the company could no longer afford to deliver them. Munchery was born in the spring of 2010, the brainchild of former Goldman Sachs analyst Joe T. Haller and ex-Google engineer Eric Schell. In an era when the gig economy was just taking its first steps, the duo imagined a world where restaurant-quality dishes could be prepared in a central kitchen, chilled, and then whisked to a customer's door within hours of ordering. Their vision tapped a growing appetite for convenience, and by 2011 they secured a modest seed round, followed by a $5 million series that allowed them to open their first kitchen in Santa Monica. The model seemed simple. Chefs crafted menus inspired by top-tier restaurants, meals were flash frozen, and an algorithm matched delivery windows with driver availability. Customers signed up for weekly subscriptions, choosing from rotating menus of the week, and in return received gourmet-style dishes at a fraction of the price of dining out. Early press praised the service as a chef-to-door revolution, and the brand quickly garnered a loyal following among urban professionals who dreaded cooking after long workdays. Growth accelerated in 2013, when Munchery raised $45 million led by Andreessen Horowitz. The capital influx fueled an aggressive expansion plan. New kitchens sprouted across San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Boston, each staffed with culinary talent recruited from Michelin-starred restaurants. By 2015, the company claimed to be feeding more than 400,000 meals per week, and its valuation had swelled to $300 million. Headlines proclaimed it the next Uber for food, and the startup culture celebrated Haller and Schell as visionary disruptors. But beneath the glossy veneer, warning signs began to flicker. The first red flag appeared in the company's unit economics. While the subscription model promised recurring revenue, the cost structure of preparing and delivering fresh, high-quality meals was brutally high. Kitchens required expensive equipment, premium ingredients, and a roster of chefs who commanded salaries far above those of typical fast food staff. Moreover, the need to keep a wide variety of dishes on hand meant that any miscalculation in demand led to overproduction. In 2016, Munchery's internal reports showed that as many as 20% of prepared meals never left the warehouse, sitting in cold storage until they spoiled. Rather than adjust menus or scale back production, the leadership responded by hiring more data analysts, believing that a better algorithm would solve the mismatch. The company also launched an ambitious Munchery marketplace that allowed third-party restaurants to list meals for delivery, further complicating the supply chain and diluting brand focus. Investor patience wore thin. In 2017, Munchery raised a $125 million Series C round led by Tiger Global, but the infusion came with a stark warning. We need to see a path to profitability within 18 months, or we will have to consider alternatives. The startup's burn rate, nearly $100 million a year, was unsustainable, and the board began scrutinizing every line item. The next warning sign manifested in staffing turmoil. In early 2018, the company laid off 10% of its workforce, primarily in marketing and product development, while simultaneously expanding its delivery fleet. The decision sent shockwaves through the employee base, leading to a series of resignations among senior chefs who felt the company was abandoning its culinary roots. Compounding the crisis, Munchery's growth strategy relied heavily on discount codes and promotional offers to attract new subscribers. By mid-2018, a significant portion of its customer base consisted of promo-only users who churned as soon as the discounts expired, leaving the company with a high acquisition cost and low lifetime value per customer. On September 10, 2018, the first public sign of collapse appeared. Munchery announced a sudden reduction in its service area, pulling out of 3 major markets, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and Denver, citing logistical challenges. The move left thousands of subscribers stranded and ignited a wave of negative press. Social media users flooded the brand's pages with screenshots of empty refrigerators, and food waste activists highlighted the staggering amount of discarded meals, estimating the loss at $30 million. The final blow came in January 2019, when Munchery filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. In a terse filing, the company disclosed liabilities of $140 million against assets of just $15 million, and announced that its remaining cash would be used to settle outstanding debts with vendors, landlords, and the drivers who had delivered on its promise. The bankruptcy court appointed a trustee to liquidate the company's kitchen equipment, and the brand's website went dark within weeks. The aftermath reverberated across the food tech ecosystem. Former investors, including Andreessen Horowitz and Tiger Global, took a hard look at their due diligence processes, acknowledging that the hype surrounding instant gourmet had clouded fundamental financial analysis. Several former Munchery chefs went on to launch their own boutique delivery services, this time focusing on hyper-local markets and transparent pricing models. The warehouse where meals were once discarded became a cautionary exhibit in a food waste museum in New York, where visitors can see the half-eaten plates that symbolize an industry's overreach. Industry analysts point to Munchery as a textbook case of scaling too fast, without a sustainable unit economics foundation. Subscribe to The Collapse for more stories like this.